All right. Before we get started, the cover slide has our briefings page, so the graphics should be up there. We sent them up around 12:30, so they should be up there already. Hopefully, if you need them after the call or during the call here, you should be able to access them now on that weather.gov/FFC/briefings. Okay, so getting into this, first off, we wanted to address a few things. We are not trying to like blow this thing out of proportion, but we do have a pretty strong cold front that's going to come through the area during the day tomorrow. We stand by. I'm getting a few people saying they don't have sound from the computer. Goodness gracious. Okay, everybody. Okay, I'm showing that the audio is working. Some people are, some people aren't. I'm just going to keep on going, guys. I'm sorry. There might be some issues on your end with the audio, but sounds like for most people I can hear that they can hear us. All right, so like I said, we are talking about a cold front coming through tomorrow. We are looking at some showers and thunderstorms, just a few thunderstorms developing ahead of the cold front. And the primary threat is going to be gusty winds and locally heavy rain. But we are looking at the potential for isolated severe weather as well. Brief tornadoes actually possible as well. Stand by for 1 second, guys. I want to double check a few things before we continue. Should double check.
There's no audio. Colton said he's getting no audio.
Good Lord. It's saying I got audio here. I'm on air and it's not muted. People can hear you.
Yeah, ask, are they saying it?
Some people said they can hear me.
I think it's working. I think it's just me on the feeds.
But Keith said he can't hear me?
Yeah, it's maybe on
the feeds. Yeah, Keith called and said he is getting no audio, so he's more concerned that no one's
It's working. On this, it says it's working.
I know.
I think it's working. Okay. If people are getting it, then it's on their end. They can dial
sound on my sound on my phone. It is good. All right. All right, guys, we're going to keep on going. I'm going to type, if you're having some issues, I'm going to type an audio line, our audio intercall number so that everybody can see it and get on the phone if need be. Just here. Thanks for everybody's patience. Okay, what I'm typing in the chat, the room for that's on GoToMeeting, okay, is a number that you can call and listen in on the phone line if you need to. Otherwise, we're going to keep on going here. All right. Good Lord. Okay. Back to the highlights here. Okay, we wanted to address the potential with this strong cold front coming in of very strong winds, locally heavy rain. Possibly we could see a few tornadoes given the low-level wind shear along and ahead of the front. And then behind the front, we are looking at much colder air coming in late tomorrow and into tomorrow night and through the weekend. There is the potential that we could see a few snow flurries or snow showers in the northern mountains of Georgia behind the front, beginning late tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow night, and then the blustery, windy conditions are going to persist through tomorrow night into Saturday. All right, so here's the latest weather setup. We are looking at an area of low pressure, a deepening trough, strengthening trough over the central plains. Getting down into Texas. That system is going to be progressing east over the next 24 hours. I'm going to hold on a second. We've got a bunch of people that are coming on the phone line here. Stand by 1 second. Okay, some of you are joining us on the phone line. I'm on the, I guess the second slide that says weather setup, and I was just going through what kind of we're looking at. We got a very warm southwesterly flow out ahead of the deepening trough across the central plains. This trough of low pressure is going to be moving east toward us over the next 24 hours, along with a pretty strong cold front. The main threat out ahead of the front is going to be the potential for severe weather, mainly dealing with very strong wind gusts, damaging wind gusts, but there also is the potential to see some brief spin-up tornadoes during the day tomorrow, and I'll get into that here in just a second. All right, this is a graphic showing timing of the front. We expect the frontal passage to get into northwest Georgia sometime between 12 and 2 tomorrow afternoon, and then progressing to the south and east during the afternoon hours tomorrow. It's going to be kind of right along and ahead of this cold front where we anticipate the most active weather to occur, and that's going to be the heavy rain, the real strong wind gusts, and the potential for brief tornadoes. So it's going to be a small window, but our best guess at this point with the timing is going to be early, around midday, early afternoon across the northwest zones, northwest counties, through Metro Atlanta sometime between 1 and 4, and then for from Athens down to Macon and Dublin and our far southeast counties sometime between 3 and 7 o'clock tomorrow afternoon into the early evening hours. After 7 o'clock tomorrow evening, we expect the front to make its way through our entire area, and at that point we're just going to be looking at much colder air and gusty winds out of the northwest behind the cold front. The rainfall, we're not expecting any significant widespread rainfall, but in some pockets where the heavier showers could train or move over the same areas, especially north of I-20 and north of I-85, we could see anywhere from an inch to upwards of 2 inches total. This is through the day tomorrow into tomorrow evening. So again, lesser amounts to the south and east, but again, any sort of heavy shower or thunderstorm that moves over an area and we get some training that develops along and ahead of the front, there could be a quick ½ inch to an inch that falls within a short period of time. So be mindful of that some local creeks and streams that respond pretty quickly to the heavier rain in a short period of time could be affected by this rain coming in with the front. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, on the backside of the front of this system, late tomorrow into tomorrow night, we could see a little bit of snow flurry, snow shower activity. Where we anticipate the actual more organized snow shower activity is going to be generally across far north Georgia near the Tennessee-North Carolina state line and in the higher elevations above 1,500 feet. And this is a combination of the very cold air coming in, the wind orientation to the slopes, and the upper level energy that's going to be moving through. So late tomorrow, behind the front, late tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow night is where we anticipate this changeover to occur in the far north Georgia mountains. So we'll be keeping an eye on that behind the front for accumulations. At this point, generally speaking, we don't expect anything more than a ½ inch to an inch above 1,500 feet. But we're going to have to keep an eye on that and evaluate that through the day tomorrow into tomorrow evening. Generally, south of like a Rome to Blairsville line, there's going to be maybe a few flurries down to like North Metro Atlanta, but we don't expect any significant impacts out of the flurries that occur late tomorrow afternoon through the evening hours on Friday. So one of the things that we really wanted to draw attention to is the wind gust. Behind the front, the winds out of the northwest by late tomorrow afternoon into the early evening hours are going to be quite strong. Anywhere from 25 to 35 miles per hour on gust is what we're expecting behind the front. And this is, I got a snapshot on the left of around 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. And then even through the evening hours into the overnight hours into early Saturday morning, the winds are going to stay up. So this is getting very close to our wind advisory criteria, and we'll have to watch that for any issuance on that over the next 12 to 24 hours. But the bottom line is it is going to be windy. We are expecting wind gusts out of the northwest from 25 to 35 miles per hour, beginning behind the front, beginning late tomorrow afternoon through the night tomorrow night and into Saturday. So that's going to be something we'll have to pay attention to. And I'll talk about the temperatures and the wind chills here just in just a second. This is a snapshot of where we expect wind gusts to be on Saturday morning around 10 a.m. Again, in that 25 to 35 mile an hour range for a good portion of the area. And then by Saturday afternoon into Saturday night, we expect the gusts to come down a little bit. It's still going to be locally gusty in spots, maybe 10 to 20 miles per hour into Saturday evening, but we don't expect widespread, 20 to 30, 25 to 35 mile per hour wind gusts by Saturday night. So the next graphics show both the temperatures for behind the front Friday night into early Saturday and the wind chill. So on the left, you'll see actual air temperatures, and we expect most of the area in north and central Georgia to drop to at or below freezing by Saturday morning. On the right side, the graphic shows the combination of the winds with the air temperature. We got wind chills dropping into the teens and even some single digits in the North Georgia mountains late Friday night into early Saturday morning, with teens and 20s across our far southeast counties. So just about everywhere across our forecast area is going to get very cold or get much colder tomorrow night into early Saturday, and the combination of those northwest winds with the dropping air temperatures is going to result in some pretty cold wind chills as we head into Saturday morning. The highs on Saturday, we're not going to recover much. We may be able to break out into a little bit of sunshine on Saturday. Don't expect any precipitation, but with high temperatures in the 30s to lower 40s for much of the area, the combination of the winds is going to drop wind chills again down into the 20s and lower 30s. And then you see Saturday night lows are going to be just about everywhere is going to be at or below freezing, with low to mid 20s along the I-85 corridor, and then across far northwest Georgia, North Georgia, we could see some teens, 15 to 20 degree range. This is for Saturday night into Sunday morning. Last couple things I wanted to show, then we'll kind of recap everything, is just the trend in high and low temperatures for a couple different sites. Up in northwest Georgia, we picked out Rome. So we're starting off pretty warm tonight, and then by tomorrow, temperatures behind the front are going to be dropping from the 50s down into the 30s during the afternoon, and then high temperatures are going to struggle to get out of the 30s through Saturday, Sunday, and even on into early next week, with low temperatures dropping Saturday night into Sunday morning into the low 20s, and once again Sunday night into Monday morning. So the cold behind this front, the cold looks like it's going to stick around for a few days into early next week. And there's really not much of a moderation in temperatures through the early part to middle of next week. You can see that for both Rome and Atlanta, and then we picked out Columbus and Macon as well, with, again, the colder temperatures coming in late tomorrow night into early Saturday, and then the cold air staying across the area into early next week. Okay, so just to recap, and again, I really apologize for the audio issues. We'll get that worked out. Our slides, the graphics that we just showing are on our briefing page right now. We don't have any plans to do another briefing at this point, but if we do, we'll blast out an email about that. At the very least, we'll do an update overnight tonight into tomorrow morning with an email and some graphics to kind of get everybody up to date on what we're looking at. But things are going to be unfolding pretty quickly during the day tomorrow, so we're probably going to be locked into operational mode at that point. The main threat is with the front, out ahead of the front are the winds picking up and the showers and possibly a few thunderstorms developing. We're not looking at a lot of instability, but the wind energy is very impressive. And all we need is just a little bit of instability to interact with that wind energy and the forcing along the front to really create some problems with the showers and maybe isolated thunderstorms that we do see out ahead and along the cold front. So there is going to be the potential to see some damaging wind gusts, along with the potential, given the low-level wind shear, to see some brief tornadoes. So we cannot rule that out, although we don't think this is going to be a widespread, significant severe weather impact. It's hard to pinpoint exactly where the best threat's going to be, but anywhere just along and ahead of the cold front tomorrow is where we're going to be anticipating some of these threats. And then behind the front, the main story is going to be the much colder air, the strong wind gusts behind the front, and then the potential to see some scattered snow showers or flurries in the North Georgia mountains late tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow night as the cold air rushes in behind this system. So I realize that not everybody was able to hear us through the computer, but hopefully we got a lot of people on our phone line. If there are any questions either through GoToMeeting or the phone line, let us know now. I'm going to unmute everybody on our phone system so that you guys can ask questions.